it up! Turn it up!
Hi, this is Mark from ExtremeOverclocking.com. With me is Jason Holler, owns Budget PC in Newburgh, Indiana. And as usual, we got Justin working the camera. Be doing some PEMP reviews coming up pretty soon. Today we're going to be going over how to set up an LCD panel. Just using the Matrix Orbital LCD 2041. Get it from matrixorbital.com. It's pretty sweet. We're just going to put on there how to show your memory usage, CPU usage, and anything else you want to throw up on an LCD. And it does require a few modifications, one of those being the power supply. Might have to do a little bit of programming. We're going to put some free source up on our website at extremeoverclocking.com to show you how to do all that, and we'll be available to chat with if you have any questions. The code's going to be in Visual Basic. We'll also have links to C code, and for Linux people, that's going to be done in a later review. This one's just going to be specifically for Windows, because I figure that's what most people are going to be using, so we'll get that taken care of. First thing you need to do is buy the LCD, obviously. Takes a couple days for shipping, but whenever you get it, it's pretty nice. Comes nicely wrapped and everything. We're not going to ghetto this one out, but we're going to get close enough. The modifications to your power supply, the reason you need to do it is so that you don't fry the actual LCD panel itself. Oh yeah, the LCD does run off a serial, and if you wanted to, you could just solder down the power on here, because you can get power off the actual serial itself. But that's all available from matrixorbital.com. Just read off their website. First thing, just take a normal floppy power cable. That's what we're going to use to power it up. Do not hook it up without doing a modification to it, because it will fry it. But you're just going to take the normal floppy here, and you've got your yellow, which is 12 volt, and then you got your red, which is 5 volt. You're actually going to get rid of the red and one of the blacks. Your black is the ground, and you're going to swap where the red is on your floppy power with the yellow. So you're going to swap out the 5 and go to 12, and then you're going to put the ground where the yellow is, being the black. That will, give it the correct power, so you don't have to worry about losing everything you got on there. And then the middle two, they're just going to be blank. The easiest way to do it is just take a paper clip or a safety pin or something, push down the little metal tabs, and it'll slide right out. Then just push it back in, and it'll clip right back in. Once you get it actually out of there, though, you're going to have to use some electrical tape, and just put electrical tape over the two extra, the red and the black that you've got hanging out. That way, it doesn't short circuit on you or anything. Just use standard electric tape, and I'll let Jason do that as I tell you a little bit about the programming, how it's done.
Now pay attention, 007.
Alright, now we're going to go over the source code a little bit. The source that we're going to be using for this is done again in Visual Basic. Don't flame me for using VB, it's just easy to use, it was quick to do for the review, and it's effective. It works perfectly for what we're using it for. Let's see here, at the top I pulled some of these API declarations just off anything I could find on the net pretty much, and then did some of my own memory functions. All of our actual commands, turning the black light on and off, clearing the screen, that sort of thing, that all came from the PDF file that came with the Matrix Orbital, so that was pretty easy to do. And then I wrote my own LCD write function, which people probably want to use. We're limited to 20 lines across by, or 20 characters across by four lines down. So instead of the Matrix Orbital, it'll mess up if you send it more than that. It'll have like different lines scattered everywhere. So I just wrote it so every 20 characters, it'll break it down, put it to the next line, just stores in a different string and then goes. Jason here, he modified the code a little bit, quite a bit actually, and we now have separate functions. It'll loop through different screens. Before I had it set as just showing your memory status and all that sort. Now we have the option of doing memory status and then switch to a screen, maybe with your email, you have mail from, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. On our Linux review for this piece, we're actually going to have your packets, incoming, outgoing, firewall status, who's trying to break in, that sort of thing. It'll flash up, and that'll be pretty sweet. Basically, all you have to do with the source code is create a port option, just like a MS communication tool, drop that in there for VB. Yeah, I know it's kind of gay, but put it up there, open the port. It's 19200 for your baud rate. You got no parity, it's 8-bit data, and it's got one stop bit on it. Again, all that's in the PDF file, so it's pretty easy to understand. You can actually set the baud rate, but I don't know why you'd want to set it slower. But if you do, you have that option because it has jumpers on the back, and the PDF file tells you how to do that. But yeah, Jason's done with the wrap job up here. We've got both of them electrical taped together so we don't short out our LCD panel. I hooked another power supply up, just a 200 watt, nothing fancy. I had it up there to power my fans, but figured I don't want to mod my full power supply. I didn't at the time that I first did it though, but now I would. Let's give that some juice. She started up. Go ahead and shut it down here. Okay, it's just an AT power supply, so it doesn't have to be plugged into the motherboard to work either way. But to plug it in, it's pretty simple. You've got the giant red spot on the actual LCD panel. Just plug in your modified power supply, power cable there. Plugs in, fits just fine. We're just going to push these off to the side because we're not going to be using them. Then you just take your serial port or your DB9 and hook it up just on the only connector on the back here. Works just fine. And whenever you boot it up, the black light should turn on here in a sec. Assuming we had power, that would. Let's see what we've got here. There we go. Had to get the connectors in there tight. There we go. Boots up, just comes to a, you have a cursor in the corner. You can turn that off using the source code I've got available on here. Yeah, just boots up like so. There you go. And we'll run a little bit of our source code. We've got some stuff pre-programmed on here, no big deal. Just run VB. It comes up to a blank form, but yeah. Ooh, syntax there. Hang on. We were doing some testing before we actually put it up here. There we go. Coming out of line. So you can zoom in on there. We have the network status, CPU usage. We're only using 5%. Memory usage, we're using 36%. Has your hard drive space. It's limited right now on my source code. It only shows up to 2 gig of hard drive space. That'll be fixed pretty darn soon. It'll have your host name, IP address, all that local information stuff. And we're trying to get the actual network throughput on there. I think that'll be kind of useful. A lot of people would like to see that on there. You're not limited to 2 screens. You can put as many as you want on there, which makes it ideal for business people, people who just want to advertise a product or something like that, or who sells computers. You can get PCB inserts to put it inside your computer. This one we're not actually going to mount into anything because we're going to be using it for the not-so-getter router review, which will be the upcoming review that we're going to use. It'll be mounted on the actual case, which is going to be pretty sweet. But for now, that's what we've got, and it works perfectly. We're going to have a tech supplement up pretty soon on the site, which tells in detail with digital camera photographs how to set all this stuff up. So if you don't want to sit there and watch the video over and over, you can just do that. Again, we're at Budget PC in Newburgh, Indiana. We'll have a link to their page from our site, and you can check that out. We'll have links to where you can buy the LCD panel. Source code will be up, along with a lot of other pretty cool stuff. Any questions, again, ask Justin and me or Jason in our chat room. We'll be on Monday, probably about 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's about it. So.
Mr. Roboto にいつも知りたい